Hello, people of God in our Wausau parishes, and welcome to this week's Quick Things. Two important details or items as part of our conversation or part of our video today. Uh, First of all, I just want to share a statement from the U.S. bishops regarding the assassination attempt against President Trump on Saturday afternoon, and kind of an ongoing encouragement that they offer in that statement. And this is what it says. We, the bishops, condemn political violence, and we offer our prayer for President Trump and those who were killed or injured. We also pray for our country and for an end to political violence, which is never a solution to political disagreements. We ask all people of goodwill to join us in praying for peace in our country. Mary, Mother of God and Patroness of the Americas, pray for us. The bishops in this statement also acknowledged that they issued a longer, more extensive statement regarding political violence in June, just a few weeks ago. And so I've shared a link to that fuller statement in the Quick Things email. So please give some attention to that. Actually, that statement offers an unfortunate segue in a way into our conversation today, not directly, but somewhat. I'm talking to Rebecca Perkins. She's the account manager for the Community Blood Center here in Wausau. And it's various forms of violence and accidents and things that often lead to the need for blood donations and people be receiving blood. President Trump, fortunately, I don't believe lost enough blood that he needed to be given any blood or anything like that. But those kinds of situations are just part of our story these days, unfortunately. So Rebecca, we'll try to put this on a more positive plane. Rebecca is with me because on Wednesday, next week, Wednesday, July 24th, there will be a blood drive from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock. It's being held in McKillop Hall at St. Anne, right inside the main entrance of the church, but it's for all of us. Members of our Eastside parishes, as well as anyone. It's open. Obviously, these blood drives are open to the public, and we want as many people as possible to participate. Rebecca, first of all, thank you for joining me.
Definitely. Thanks for having me.
Talk a little bit about the Community Blood Center. So that's a new name for many of us.
It is. So we used to be Blood Center of North Central Wisconsin. We're the same group. We just have a new name. We're located downtown Wausau at 211 Forest Street. So some of you may be blood donors right down at the center. That's wonderful. I always like to let everybody know where we're at because sometimes a blood drive doesn't work well with your calendar or your schedule. And so you can certainly pop down to the blood center as well. So again, same group, same location, and just a different name. We've partnered with the blood center or the Community Blood Center in Appleton. And we together just support more local hospitals. And that's a very large driving piece for us. We collect blood and the blood products stay here and support our local hospital systems. That is, again, one of our largest driving factors because we need to support surgery cases and illness. And then those unfortunate events, exactly like you were talking about, they happen. They happen over summer too. We see a lot of folks doing different things, trying different things, having fun. But then that leads to sometimes unfortunate accidents. And then that need of blood and blood products increases, unfortunately.
And that's why I think the sign outside I walk by your office when I'm walking and I see this, I think it says vital need or something like that, or on the website. I'm presuming you don't have that out all the time, that the need is greater now than usual.
That's right. So always over holidays, we see a spike or an uptick in usage. And I think it just goes right back to, there's things that are happening. There's people traveling. There's more people in the area. Things just tend to happen a little bit more often, I guess, during that, holiday weekend. And we saw a very large amount of our products used, transfused to patients that were in need. and that depleted our shelves a little bit. And so we're working really hard to be out in our communities, get the word out to everyone that there is a critical need right now, right here in our own community, to donate so that we can keep supporting the local hospital systems so they have everything available when they need it.
As a Catholic community, we espouse a pro-life approach in terms of valuing life from conception to natural death. And certainly one of the most important ways that we can support life is by giving blood, because it virtually helps to sustain and restore life for people, correct?
It does. You know, I always say it is the most unique but powerful way to give back to your community. It is just, it doesn't cost anything. It's a little bit of your time. You know, for those who have donated, know that it takes about 45 minutes, sometimes an hour, depending on if there's a lot of people that come at the same time, but roughly about 45 minutes. And again, it's just such a great way for you to be part of your community and give back just a little bit of your time to literally help save somebody's life. It's just an amazing thing to be part of.
And I mean, a year ago, I was in a position where I could have had a blood transfusion, which would have utilized blood that had been donated by someone, I'm presuming,
Yes,
correct?
you
I
are
had
right.
some internal bleeding, and the doctor said, well, we're going to give you some iron medication that'll help, you'll get your strength back, or we could do a blood transfusion. And I said, well, do you have a lot of spare blood? And the doctor said, well, not really. I said, well, then I think I need a blood transfusion. I mean, that would have been like a more immediate remedy of the situation. But
Right.
so Rebecca, tell us, I mean, I've given blood, and because of that situation, I'm not able to give blood right now, but I have in the past. But many people maybe have never given blood, and maybe they're a little frightened of the whole thing. Can you explain the experience? You talked a little bit about how long it takes, but what happens if someone decides, yeah, you know what, I can figure out a way next Tuesday, or I'm sorry, Wednesday, the 24th. Maybe I take a late lunch hour and show up at 1 o'clock, or I, get out of work early so I can do it before 5. What would happen if someone shows up to give blood?
That's a great question, because you're right. I think that folks who've never donated before don't really know what to expect, and sometimes that keeps people away from it. So I think the first thing to kind of imagine or kind of picture is you walk in and you get registered. So make sure you bring a driver's license or a form of identification. They'll get you registered, and we hand you over a tablet where you can just answer some health history questions like, are you feeling well today? Have you been on any antibiotics? Just all sorts of different questions related to your health history. All of that's kept confidential. And then after you answer all of those questions, you move on to making sure that you are doing well before giving blood. So we do vitals like temperature, blood pressure, and then we do a little finger poke so that we can make sure that your blood levels are safe for you to donate blood as well. And then you move on over to the blood donation process, which is super quick. It's, I would say, like 6 to 8 minutes. You're sitting in the chair giving that blood donation. It's very quick.
You hold you have something in your hand that you
Yeah,
squeeze,
you
right?
do a little stress ball squeeze, we'll call it. They give you something to just kind of squeeze I think they say maybe every 10 seconds, give it a little squeeze. And you're just sitting in a reclining chair. And then when you're finished with that portion, we want you to hang out for a little while. We want you to replenish. So eat something, drink something, just hang out for a while, make sure that you're feeling okay. And as soon as you're feeling just as good as you did before you walked in the doors, you're ready to leave and go back to your normal daily business.
Right. Whatever was going on before, well, you can jump right back into that, right?
Right.
You know
Right.
that while you talk about hanging out, that's the most important part, Rebecca, because you get to stay and have snacks and maybe some good things to drink, things that you maybe don't normally indulge in.
Yes.
So,
Yes. That's an
and
important
I
part.
think the organizers have planned some good refreshments and things like that. So,
Yeah, they've done that before. So I think that they're planning on doing that as well. So
mhm.
uh, and eat and drink before you come too. That's an important thing. You want to make sure that you're feeling as great as you can. So plenty of water, a nice breakfast, a snack. Some people even drink or eat while they're donating to just make sure that
Mhm.
they're feeling good
Yeah,
through the whole.
it's not like having a blood draw when you go for a clinic appointment or something where you fast before you
Right.
have a blood draw. Here, you want to be well nourished and hydrated
That's
for
correct.
blood. You know, I would, the reason I began giving blood was because my mom and dad always had. I mean, I remember growing up when they would I don't know if I went with them maybe a couple of times, but I remember them talking about giving blood.
Mhm.
I think there's also that important thing that we witness, and maybe even not that we're bragging about it, but if we're at work, maybe to mention to other coworkers, do you want to go with me to give blood?
Yes.
Or just to kind of I think if we acknowledge it, that we're doing it, that
Mhm.
might plant that seed with other people as well.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, I think you're right. It's important to share the information and the word about this need because it's constant. It is a constant need. We always have, folks going through surgeries. We always have folks that are, ill that need blood. There's traumas, all of those things. And it's important to know that we can't just go back to the laboratory and say, we're low on blood. We got to make some up. Like that's not a thing. It has to come from another
It doesn't
human.
come in a bag that you can strew with water, huh?
Right. That would solve a lot of issues, but it doesn't work that way. We can't manufacture it. So it really does have to come from a donor, just like you and I. And gosh, I just think, mentioning again that it is just a really powerful way to give back. And I think you do feel good. I usually walk out feeling like I just helped somebody. I have no idea who I helped, but it makes me feel really good. I did a great deed for the day. And it makes you feel good.
Sure. One thing I've always appreciated when I've given blood is how often I see other parishioners there giving blood as well. I just feel good that our community is responding. And I'm not talking about when we've had it in the parish. I'm talking about other places around town
Mhm.
where, because again, how often can you give blood, Rebecca?
You can give every 8 weeks.
Okay, so obviously none of our parishes are having blood drives every 8 weeks. So once you do this, you get information as to where other blood drives are being held and things like that.
Yeah, yes,
Um,
absolutely. And then just to note too that you can always pop down to the blood center, which is convenient. I mean, I think everybody probably watching the video is around the area, not too far out. But yeah, you can definitely go to the website as well, Community Blood Center, and you can search where are other blood drives. I think you can enter it in by zip code if I'm remembering correctly. And then absolutely you can take a peek at what else is happening and just become a regular donor.
I think I noticed at your office, like, I think because responding to the urgent need, you had like giving into the evening a week ago, or is that a regular
Yeah,
thing?
it is actually every second Tuesday. Every second Tuesday of the month, we're open late until I believe they take
I
donors
think it's
until.
at 8 p.m.
Oh, maybe that would have been. Well, normally, every second Tuesday they're open till 6:30, which normally we stop taking donors at 4:30. So it does help for folks who are working. Some people get done at 5 and just they don't have the time to get down there. So
Okay.
that can be an obstacle as well.
You're not open on Saturdays, are you?
We're not. Every
No.
once in a while, we'll have a drive, like a special community drive that lands on a weekend, but not too typical right now.
And just in case people don't, you said where you're located on Forest Avenue, is it?
4th Street.
Forest Street. In case people don't know where that is, it's next to the post office or near the post office, in
Right
that
next to the
in that
post office.
neighborhood. In terms of the blood drive coming up on the 24th, there's a link in the Quick Things email to our parishioners where you could click and register for the
Yep,
blood drive. That's helpful to do, is that
it
correct?
is. Kind of like I mentioned before, it does if folks are registering and they're kind of claiming a spot, it really does help with the flow of a blood drive. And then bogging people down. It's not taking longer than that 45 minutes to an hour. So it does certainly help. It also allows us to staff it well, bring the correct amount of materials. And I always tell people as well, even if you register and then you're 30 minutes late, we still know that you were on the calendar. So it's kind of a win-win. We know you're coming. No need to worry about it. Still come if you're a little bit late.
And if I haven't registered, walk-ins are welcome as well. We know that.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
Always walk-ins are welcome.
So on Wednesday, so like you're not sure, you know what? And Wednesday afternoon, you decide, okay, I'm going to go do it. I'm going to go give blood. Please, you will be welcomed, and there will be plenty of snacks for you to enjoy when you're done.
Yes, plenty of snacks, plenty of drinks.
So just a little bit of the logistics behind the scenes, Rebecca. So we give blood, then what happens with it?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we bring it back to our laboratory, which is also right down at the blood center, and it goes through some testing, some filtration. We actually separate that blood product so that it's a red cells and plasma. So by you donating a unit of blood, it actually can go to multiple people. So that's a really fun fact. I think people enjoy hearing that I'm actually helping more than one person. All of our blood products, well, the red cells are refrigerated, and the shelf life for those are about 42 days. So we store them in our refrigerator, and then our hospital systems that we support will give us a call. They will let us know what kind of blood products they need, and we get them to their laboratory so that they can, of course, support the patients that are in need of them.
Okay. And how does this compare? How does your organization differ from the Red Cross, or what? Because that's another prominent drug donation opportunity.
Yeah, I love that actually. We're more local than the Red Cross. Both organizations are supporting and saving people's lives, so that's wonderful. What I know about the Red Cross is a lot of the times the blood leaves the area. So, and even sometimes the state. So with the blood center, with the community blood center, we keep that blood here. I mentioned that earlier, that one of our biggest drives is to really support locally. And together, like I had mentioned, also with the Appleton office, we support over 60, I think, local hospital systems.
Okay, well, wonderful. Well, again, we want to let folks know the blood drive is Wednesday, July 24th. It's at St. Anne, but it's for everyone. And I'm hoping that there might be some folks at Resurrection in St. Michael who might be interested in helping to organize a blood drive in the Eastside parishes for everyone in the fall, because the need, while the need hopefully may not be as urgent in the fall, there will still obviously be a need, and we want to have another opportunity, if we can, in our parishes to participate in this important pro-life activity of sharing a bit of our life through our blood donations for the benefit of others. So, Rebecca, thank you very much. Anything you want to add?
No, I think that covered a lot of really great information. I hope that it helps. And if you have other questions, you can certainly visit our website. You could give our office a call. You could just stop down and talk with us on Wednesday of next week. We would love to see you. And thank you so much for your time.
And again, links for all the registration for the website, or for the website of the Blood Center, are in the email that parishioners receive as well. So again, thank you, Rebecca. God bless everyone.
Thank you.